let's talk about the 8-in-1. All right, let's talk about the 8-in-1. Um, is it a must-have? Is it a must-have? And I think this thing costs about $200-300. Even buy, Alibaba, they have a 8-in-1, but it's magnetic, which seems pretty interesting. But because with this 8-in-1, you're using sticky adhesive, and that's what's going to hold it down. Plus, you're going to I'm to do the back of a hat, and I've got several videos on this particular hat, But anyway, and then I'm gonna clamp it down around the edges there. But your backing is pretty much just sticky adhesive here. But then you have those magnetic ones. I don't know how good they are. I eventually may get them though. But a lot of the stuff that you do with your 8-in-1 can be done. Matter of fact, let me take this off real quick. It can be done also with the right mighty hoop. You know what I'm saying? So if I had to pick an 8-in-1 over a mighty hoop, that's all I could get. I would get a mighty hoop. But this, the 8-in-1, they're gonna tell you, well, it's good for pockets and it's good for sleeves, and it is. It does help in some of that stuff, but most of the pockets, like shirt pockets, most of the pockets you're not gonna be able to get into. You're not gonna be able to get into. Now, why you can't get into them is because of this. This whole bar. Like, think about a shirt pocket. This whole bar has to get inside of the shirt. On top of that, with the 8-in-1, and it gonna need to move. See, a lot of y'all are having problems with registration because you in a hoop that's barely, or you got a mighty hoop that's barely. Man, you hit the edge of them mighty hoops. You really need to be about a. See my hand? You need to be about that far from that edge, because if you're really on that edge, that mighty hoop has a little hump in it that it's gonna make the design jump a little bit, or it may shift a little bit from that jumping, because once the machine is done with a particular stitch and it goes to cut, sometimes it go like y'all know what I'm talking about if you know what I'm talking about. But you gonna put that thing in there and you probably can't even get that. Like, this probably can't even fit. And this is why some machines they advertise that they have a smaller whatever this is, a smaller little arm or whatever. But this right here is not gonna fit inside your regular dress shirt pocket, so you're gonna have to sew that pocket closed, and ain't no mighty hoop gonna get in there. All right, the only way for you to really hit that pocket without closing it is to take that pocket off. I haven't seen a way outside of that. I remember I was doing these shirts, and the dude was like, well, the other folks told me they couldn't, they had to sew the pocket closed. So it's cool if you sew the pocket closed. And I'm like, man, I can sew that thing. I got that 8-in-1, and I got that, man. I tried to put that 8-in-1 on there, and man, I couldn't get in that pocket. That pocket was too tight. So when it's a pocket that's very tight, you can't. Now, if you got like, pockets that like your jacket pockets, like the pockets you put your hands in, you can probably get in there. But don't think you buying that 8-in-1 and you got that little square thing and you about to get inside or something like this. But it is useful, but not as much as you would think. You know what I'm saying? So is it one of the first things I would buy? I would say no. No, I would get my mighty hoops. I would get different size mighty hoops. It's good for book bags. I've used it on book bags, book bag pockets. But if you got the right size mighty hoop, 90% of the stuff that you're doing here. It's also good for, let me get skull caps. Skull caps, I'd rather do it like on my 8-in-1 than to do it on than to use a mighty hoop. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather do it on my 8-in-1 because all I gotta do is put, I'll take it off, and then where it pulled off the back end, I just put another strip of adhesive there, and I keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to worry about cutting out no backing and all that stuff and trying to do that prep work. So it's good for beanies. If you're going to do beanies and the back of hats, it's good for that. think it's better for that. But anything else, man, you got the right Mighty Hoops. You can get the job done. Would I have it? Yes, I would eventually buy one. You know what I'm saying? If I had the opportunity to buy one, it's worth the money of having it. But if you straining for the money and you only have, hey, it's get a 5x5 Mighty Hoop or get a 8-in-1. I'm gonna get the Mighty Hoop. I'm gonna get the 5x5 Mighty Hoop. That's for me. You know what I'm saying? If y'all know some other uses for the 8-in-1, it is a good buy. It is worth it, but it's just priority. Where do we prioritize the 8-in-1? You know what I'm saying? Because it's really not, man. I had somebody ask me to do some socks one time. They want me to embroider down the side of some socks. I seen it's an actual hooping mechanism for doing socks that'll pull the sock back. It sits on top of the hoop and it'll pull the sock back to do that. I'm not gonna, I eventually would buy it. It ain't but like $20. I would eventually just go and buy it. But man, I probably would use that thing 1 or 2 times out of my career of embroidering. You know what I'm saying? So the 8-in-1 has been good to me. I'm finna use it right now. But I just wanted to speak on it while I was looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember when I first got my Ricoma machine, they were like, well, you've been approved. I got the zero financing. And they were like, you want to go ahead, they can pay for your Mighty Hoops. You want to, not the Mighty Hoops, but the it could have been Mighty Hoops, but it was the 8-in-1 for sure. I know she was talking about the 8-in-1. She said, you don't need that. And I'm like, nah, I get it later. And I end up buying it later, but man, I only use it. And the only reason I'm using it now because it's on my own personal stuff. It's not personal, but it's my design. And so I designed something stupid where I put something on the back and I shouldn't have did it. But it looked cool. I thought it was cool, but then you got to think about redoing this stuff and having to do it over. A lot of times you'll do stuff and you'll design, making certain designs, and you come in days. You may do a little something on it this day, 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 and then now you got this immaculate design, but you haven't even calculated really how much work. You don't really know how much work you put into that thing, and then you price it a certain way. But I don't want to rant with y'all, man. I just wanted to give y'all that information on that 8-in-1 before y'all go crazy and go out there and buy that. Make sure you got some Mighty Hoops first. I put Mighty Hoops before the 8-in-1 in my opinion. Okay? My opinion. Instead of spending them $300, I get me 2 Mighty Hoops. I get a 5x5 and it depends on if you're a left chest guy. If you're a left chest guy, I get 2 5x5s. So you're a left chest guy. Or a 5x5 and a 725 since you only got one machine. I get a 5x5 and a 725 rather than spending the $300 on the 8-in-1. All right, man. Hope this thing was edifying. Hope it was beneficial to you. Make sure y'all like, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.